Big 12 tournament. I mean, obviously, you guys are defending champs. I mean, you guys know how to win it. I mean, what does it kind of take to get through that?
I'll tell you what, it's going into the Big 12 tournament with the bracket that we're in, with the teams that we got to play against. It's going to be a grind for sure. We need our pitchers to do well. I mean, obviously we're going to have some weather issues at the very beginning of this. We got, I think, 20 to 30 mile an hour winds that we'll be dealing with on Wednesday. But you know what? Every team's going to have to deal with it, so that's going to be just kind of part of the thing. But the biggest thing is that you need to stay healthy. We had a game canceled this past week, so we're trying to figure out our pitching in regards to how we want to go about this. Our starting pitching has been shortened a day the past couple weeks, so we're going to really kind of determine how we're going to go about kind of heading into the tournament, and then we'll adjust accordingly.
I guess, is there a kind of a disappointment level you have to kind of get everybody over going into this after kind of the way the season ended and going to defend this tournament?
I don't know. I mean, there's disappointment just because we didn't win the title, but at the same time, I mean, I'm pretty confident we're going to be able to be in postseason just with the resume that we have. Regardless of what happens in this tournament, I'm really comfortable with where our guys are. We had a great practice yesterday here. Obviously, we weren't planning on coming back, but when our game got canceled and just some of the weather issues that a lot of places were having up in Oklahoma, we just decided it would be great to sleep in our own beds a couple nights and get a good practice in yesterday. And our guys' spirits were really good yesterday. We had a chance to work on a few things and really excited about just the energy level that we had yesterday. It was really good.
Are there any guys like Davis who could come back and play in the
I think Davis is very probable at this point. He took batting practice, took some ground balls yesterday, took some swings off of pitching, and he feels pretty good. I'm going to see how he's doing today. Obviously, it's the next day that I'm more concerned about as opposed to the day of, but he didn't seem to be in any pain, so that was a good sign. But it's going to be kind of on his comfort level, but I'm feeling very probable at this point.
Any specific concerns coming out of the Oklahoma State series, or is it? I mean,
to be honest, I thought we played okay. I mean, it was a really emotional weekend for them, being the last weekend of that stadium. They had a lot of people in town. There was a very nostalgic weekend for them. We actually did not play poorly. We made a couple mistakes that we just couldn't overcome, and we're dealing with 20 mile an hour winds. They just got some balls up into the wind, and we just couldn't overcome it. But really, we're happy with how our guys played, the effort our guys gave. Trust me, I have to step back. I mean, I can get frustrated with losses, but I have to step back and really watch our guys and see how hard they're competing and the things that they're doing. It's really hard to get upset with the effort. I mean, because that's one thing that as a coach you can get upset with is if you don't see the right effort. And I don't think at any point did I ever see that this past weekend. And so our guys are doing everything they're supposed to do. It's just a matter of catching a break.
And there should be some pitchers who are basically fresh, right? I mean,
no, absolutely. Our bullpen is fresh. In fact, we had to throw them a little bit yesterday just to kind of get them some work in. I mean, everybody should be really ready to go. I mean, we got a couple more days off right now. We're supposed to practice up there tomorrow. I don't know, just based on weather, how that's going to go. But I'm really excited about our pitching staff, where they are right now. It's just a matter of making sure that we don't push guys. We keep shortening up days in regards to their week, and I don't want to push that knowing that we got postseason coming up.
Along those lines, how do you balance that of trying to, obviously you want to win the Big 12 title and defend, but also knowing that there are games to be played after this?
The big thing is just it's really just about starting pitching, not manipulating your bullpen to where it's going to get crushed. But just making sure that the first couple, you don't want to keep shortening days, when guys are normally used to a 7-day rotation, then next thing you know it's 6 days, and then it's going to be 5 days. And once you start doing that, you start messing around with the safety of your players, and that's the part that bothers me. So we're going to look into it. I mean, Jacob Ashkenos did not pitch on Saturday, so he's going to be fresh. So he might get a start early on. We just got to see how everybody else feels right now.
Back to Davis for a second. As we get to the end of the year here, there's going to be awards coming out and that kind of thing. I was looking at his numbers the other day, and obviously we saw him all year, but the thing that jumps out to me even more than 385 batting average is one error on the year at third. That's incredible.
I've told everybody he's one of the best third basemen I've ever seen, and not to mention he can play short as well. But going out there, and the funny thing is, you'll see a lot of people with really high fielding percentages on turf, and that's where I'm like, it's a different animal when you're playing on turf and you're playing on grass, and to see what he has done on grass has been one of the most impressive things. that as a coach you kind of watch, and when I have other coaches coming up to me going, oh my gosh, like, you know, how, I just tell them, I go, it's just he doesn't have a lot of the fanfare, he doesn't have a lot of the notoriety that a lot of guys in our conference have right now, but I have a funny feeling it's going to come up pretty soon.
Do you have a major league comparison to him? Maybe a guy like Matt Chapman?
I mean, the easy one is Turner, just because they kind of look alike. And to be honest, they kind of play very similar. I coached against Justin Turner in college. They're very similar. I think Davis is a little bit bigger, or is now, than Turner was in college. But I think the big thing is that both of them could really run, and Davis can really run as well. They both hit for power. They both had great barrel control in regards to hitting. So there's a lot of big comparisons, and I know a lot of the professional teams are doing the same thing with that as well.